iconic circuit, just North America. Bit of world motor racing, synonymous for the Wall of Champions. It's claimed so many champions over the years, hence its name. Off me, it's always the exit through turns 3 and 4 that lies the intriguing part and of course so much drama and excitement in a race. I'm Tim Cox, sitting in for Austin Knight, who's decided that apparently going to the Indy 500 is more interesting than iGPFUN, and Seb Williams, he's at the British GT Championship at Donington today. So I am covering for the pair of them what's going to be a enthralling, intriguing race. Yeah, again, 30 laps here. This epic F3 Championship brings drama right from the green flag all the way to the checkered flag. Qualifying currently underway. Marto, the Dutchman, currently on pole with Sam Hermer joining him on the front row. Only 600ths of a second, can you believe it? That is all that separates our top two drivers, and the difference from being on pole and starting in second. Maro, the Canadian, he's in third with Simon Fessy in fourth. Incredibly tight times, as always, in this championship. Just loving a little look through as well. Second covers our top 16 drivers. Absolutely amazing. The top 7 rows of the grid. Just seeing who's having a bit of an improvement. Oh, heading into the pits. I think that's going to be him done and dusted in qualifying. And oh wow. Aaron Smith, he definitely won't be improving with that moment. Incredibly well held, managing to keep it out of the wall there. Gonna start absolute disaster for him. Here's Jerome Lamy turning through. Hairpin at the bottom of the Casino Straight. Trying to get a little bit of slipstream off the driver in front of him there. This begins the long road all the way up to the final chicane underneath the bridge. There's the pit entrance. That always causes a little bit of drama. Bumping across the curves, getting as close as he dared to the Wall of Champions on the exit. It comes across the start-finish line. Let's see if he can improve. Currently in 6th. And does he go quicker? Well, yes, he does. 129.91. He's been promoted to 5th, demoting Fessy for 6th, but still remains on that 3rd row of the grid. Does the Brit. Well, we've got literally 5 seconds left. That is all that remains. It's going to be us done and dusted in qualifying. That's half an hour. So they have a chance to complete their laps that they are currently on. Now, Rowlinson, he's had a bit of an improving one. Brit is improved in Sector 2. And all really launching across the curves into the wall. Well, that's going to be definitely no improvement for him. Luckily, they're not following through too quickly there. Looks like it could have spelled disaster for them. On a slightly improving lap is the Spaniard. No, elects to back out of it. Didn't improve in the end. Good enough in that final sector. As we see Talsma. Another of the Canadians for a strong result here at their home race. Himself and Maruk. Difference in grid positions. He's in 17th. Maruk in 4th. Wow, that's definitely not going to be an improvement for him. A trip across the grass. Even the groundkeepers' efforts there in doing a bit of lawn mowing for them. This Barris is going to head across the line, but wow, this is his first lap. His one and only shot at qualifying, but he looks like he's had an off track somewhere without outside the track limits. So he has had his time deleted as a Spaniard for DriveX Esports. So he's going to start from the back of the grid. 34 drivers here today. It's going to be a real challenging as well. That just shows how much later you can brake on pit entry. Doesn't affect the drivers here, but in this championship, but this is well worth, you know, noticing that one. If someone needs to head into the pits, well, you've got a car braking in front of them, of course, for the final corner, you have to brake much earlier. Could catch someone out potentially. Let's move on. The Italian currently in 8th, but that is it an improvement? I don't think it's going to be. Could be eating my words. No, it's not. But that is qualifying. Done and dusted. The door slammed shut. We're going to head across the race. So Marte starts on the front row with Hermer, McIntyre and Marek, the Canadian, starting on from the second row. Lamy and Fessy with on the third row with Braun and Marone. Fourth row, there's Duran and Flint. Rounding out your top 10 with series organiser, the Swiss driver Verani and Teles on the 6th row. Hay and Smith on the 7th row with Rollison Investment on the 8th row. 9th row is Talsma and Veldman. Moving through the order there. Nunez, Brewer, Richie Robinson, Clark, Brewer, Kona, Solito, Thulis, Richie Robinson, Barris, Ridgway and Lucas going to round out your grid here from Canada. Just waiting for the drivers to take to the grid. There's Marteau on pole. Will he be the Flying Dutchman? Can he currently claim the Grand Chelem? Give it to the drivers if they lead every lap. Start from pole and have the fastest lap. Well, of those 4, he's already done 25%. He's got one of them. He's starting from pole. You bet your bottom dollar that Sam Hermer of PDR, starting alongside him on the front row, is going to take the fight to him every step of the way and make his life very uncomfortable across the entirety of the race. 36 degrees track temperature. That has come down slightly. Currently 24 local time here in Canada. Waiting for the last few cars to take to the grid. So not the hottest, but not the coldest of track temperatures. So, yeah, if you're Goldilocks, you'd say it's just right. The last few seconds coming in, and now just waiting for the last 2 drivers. They might well be starting from the pits. Well, they're definitely going to be, because here come the lights, and let's get ready to go racing in Canada. And we are away, and well, everyone getting away relatively smooth. That's one of the rules within this championship. As we head down through turns 1 and 2, Marte just slotting in front of Hermer, taking it easy for now, getting a bit loose. McIntyre in the background there as he got the power down. Marek right behind him. He's going to be a bit worried because he's going to see way Marto and Hermer are getting away, as here comes Hermer already on the attack. Pushing hard, we knew he would be. Trying to make things as comfortable for Marto as possible. But already squirming away at his gearbox as he tries to find a way past. Scintillating stuff from the pair of them on this opening lap. Only halfway through the first lap, Marto getting a little bit squirrely there on the exit out of 7. The run down to the hairpin. Right now, these top 2, they've managed to break this. Well, they've got far enough ahead to be out of the slipstream range from McIntyre following along in 3rd, but Hermer is going to be tucked right behind. But there's a real peloton of cars, a real gaggle of them in one long train right behind our top 2, led by McIntyre. Marek right behind us. Lamy just trying to move around, trying to find some space in traffic right now as Marek. He is on the left. He is got slightly ahead, and yes, he's got the move done. Well, they've even entered there, but not the best of exits from McIntyre. As Lamy pulling alongside them. They come across the start-finish line. Marto still leads from Hermer. Marek 3rd. McIntyre in 4th. Lamy squeezing up the inside into turn 1. That is going to get the move done. He's up into 4th, but McIntyre says, "You don't have it. That's easy, Jerome. I'll fight back." But Lamy on the outside line able to carry that little bit more speed. Now McIntyre has to concentrate on thinking about the Frenchman Fessy behind him, because now he's on the attack, and what was attack from McIntyre is now turned into staunch defence, because Fessy has got Braun, Marone, Duran, Flint and Ferrari right behind him, all queuing up to try and take another place from McIntyre. We're right on board with Fessy right now. That's McIntyre right in front of us onto the brakes. McIntyre not really losing any time to Lamy, but Fessy incredibly good on the brakes. We've seen it so many times, so the Frenchman pulls alongside of McIntyre. McIntyre on the inside. Who's going to be the last late breakers? As who's that come from right behind? Well, that's Verone in the 150. The Italian taking a piece of the action and tucking up right behind Fessy, and McIntyre manoeuvring the German Brawn across to the left out of slipstream range. And Fessy is gonna be through. He tucks in front immediately of McIntyre, and everyone tripping up over one another a little bit right now. And McIntyre could lose another place. He bounces across the curb, Barone heading through, and he could lose another place. We're gonna have a free wide. They decide to back out of it there. That's Brawn thinking about trying to squeeze through a gap that maybe wasn't quite there. There's free wide in the background into turn one. They all sort themselves out. Marone is through, and McIntyre is losing place after place after place. A disastrous opening 2 laps for him here in Montreal. As well, despite Hermer being the slipstream ring, electing to sit behind Murto for now. I'll be waiting here, just biding his time to make a move in the latter stages, to sit behind Marto, apply the pressure. We've got a 2-second advantage to Mara behind him. You just see him in the background there, exiting the corner. So maybe Hermer making it a bit of a move here up the inside. He's going to squeeze Marto to the outside. Marto tucks immediately straight in behind Hermer. Wants as much of that lovely slipstream as he can get from the Brit. And he pulls out alongside Hermer. Defends early to the inside, but Marto carrying a bit of extra speed. And he's going to reclaim the lead as we head down into the final chicane. And Marto once again holds onto that record of leading every single lap. Duran, he's picked up a place off of Brawn there, the Spaniard making a bit of progress as McIntyre see picked up a bit of a slowdown as and Duran scrapping away here. 14 and the 84, 7th and 8th at the moment. Need to be careful of what's happening behind them because, well, talking what's happening up front ahead of them are having to defend from Lamy. Well, it's a very similar style battle to what we've got going on for the lead. These two really need to work together to try and close up that gap because it is extending right now to a top 2. At this point, last lap, it was 2 seconds. It's now 2.2. If they want to have a stab, a chance of victory here in Montreal, they need to work together. The fastest lap of the race last time around, that went to Jerome Lamy in year 1, currently behind Marek. Now tucked up in the slipstream. You're going to see a lunge here. Let's find out. As we head down towards the final chicane, Marto still remaining in front of Hammer, ahead of them, launching it across the curves. You see all that local knowledge, the Canadian there, but behind them, Turan and Braun still having a good go at one another. Starting to pull away a little bit from Flint and Varani behind them. It's the 2S eSports driver tries to find a way past his Spanish rival in front of him. Down into 3 and 4. This is, for me, a little bit more treacherous part because the wall comes at you so thick and fast on the exit of 4. If you make a mistake through there, it can quite easily block the track. And that, for a large grid like this, with drivers that are so evenly matched, so fiercely competitive, following so closely, oh, disaster for people coming through. Oh, definitely two groups falling away right now, top 2, and also these two as Lamy has a look up the inside of Maruk. And This is going to be the move done. He's up onto the podium positions for now. That 5 out of 30 we are currently on. Still so much racing left to do, and I tell you what, looks like Marto's starting to pull away from Hermer up in front, but sticking with this battle right now. Maruk's going to be in the slipstream. We're going to see him trying to reclaim that position from Lamy. Oh no, the Brit remains in front, so they launch across the curbs. That is looking more cemented right now for Lamy, so right on board with Lucas Maruk of Digital Apex. He would love nothing more than a podium at his home race. Just listening in there. Just having a little bit of a look at his front wing. I'm not sure if he's carrying a bit of damage to the left side of his front wing, and that's going to be hampering him. I'm guessing that's where he's picked that up. He has also got, you can see scratching across his nose cone, which normally indicates a bit of floor damage as well, potentially. And that could well be why we're starting to see Lamy not only get ahead, but also starting to pull away. The drivers will be picking up from really smacking into the curves, and we've seen Maruk really do that into the final chicane. Close to our top two, still half a second. Herman managed to pull some of that gap back as we see Jesus Hay trying to make a bit of progress. That is Tellez in front of him, but he has got fellow Brit Rollinson right behind him. Vestman, the Finnish driver, in 15th. So, right behind one of those teammates, they'll surely be working together to move through the field. Hay has a little bit of a look out the inside, decides to back out of it, trying to play mind games right now against Tellez, number 11, as all three wide across the start finish line. This is why we love F3. Oh, it can end in disaster, but they all manage just about to sort themselves out as Marone tries to make his way past Duran, but Braun's there. He wants a slice of the pie and getting caught up, trying to find a lane to make his way through. Can't make it happen, and they're almost tripping up over one another. This could end in disaster. Somehow it doesn't. Braun trying to capitalize from the slow-moving traffic right now, but unable to find a way through because Duran and Marone are practically holding hands. They've been side by side for that long, but this is Marone not getting the best of exit, and now we're going to see Braun pull alongside as the Italian going to lose a place, but don't discredit Ferrari. He's not far behind as well. He wants a piece of the action, and Marone there of Wave Italy just getting a bit slow off corner exit, and now Varani, it's his turn to try and make a way past the American Flint. He's there as well in the number 13, and Varani just pushed out wide. He's going to get that much better exit, carry a bit more speed, but it's all happening up the front. Hermer slots it up the inside, and that means he is going to take the lead for the first time proper this evening across the start finish line. Hermer leads from Marto, Lamy, Maruk. Well, Flint, you see, making a move on, well, trying to get a move done on Ferrari. He's also having a good battle with Marone in front of them. Hermer leads from Marto, Lamy in third, Maruk, Fessy, Duran, Braun, Marone, Varani and Flint rounding out your top 10 for now. Tellez in 11th. McIntyre, what a disastrous start he has had. Down 9 places. If drivers lose more places, that's 2. Itoa, the Japanese driver, currently 33rd, and Smith, another retiree, in 32nd. He's obviously dropped 18 places above the runners. McIntyre's lost the most. Cracking drive from Barris in 20th. He's already up 12 places as a Spaniard. On an absolute flyer here today of Drive Esports. So Drive X Esports. Great stuff from him. Looking to make it. 13 places to get up into 19th. Rafael Munez, German in front of him, and Cheetah Elite Sim Racing. Needs to be both elite and as quick as a cheetah. He wants to hold off Spaniard Barris behind him. We look back from Munez. Sorry. He is is going to be in maybe a little bit of trouble because Barris is really close on him now, and such a long back straight here in Canada. Give him a chance to pull alongside. Oh, are we going to see defend to the inside one? He's feeling confident. As we see Barris just have a bit of a look, just trying to play mind games on the German. But wow, what an exit Barris has got, and he's going to be on the inside to turn one. Now this is not done and dusted, because sometimes, quite often, be on the outside of turn one can pay dividends because you're on the inside for turn two, but not this time around, because Barris is up another position. That's now 14, up into 18th. Spectacular step from the Spaniard, already making strong progress. Nearly 1/3 race distance complete. As Herman now starting to extend his gap, strengthen his hold on this race. Over 8/10 of advantage. He has pulled out over Marto in the space of just over, well, coming up to a lap now. Behind them, the gap's starting to extend as Teles. Oh, he had a bit of a moment on the entrance there and then getting caught out. I think that was McIntyre. Wow. McIntyre. If he didn't have any bad luck, then he wouldn't have any luck at all in this race. See, here's Rowlandson. Ahead of poor McIntyre. There's a battle on in the background as well between Teles and someone, just a few drivers heading in. Marone, McIntyre and Teles, all the drivers caught up in that contact, have all headed into the pit lane. Field starting to thin out a little bit now. Canada. It's Flint. Really scrapping out with Hay. It's over 9th place. Hay does have his teammate and nearly has a bit of contact with him. Rowlandson coming flying in there, had to get on the brakes, nearly lost the rear end, and has now pushed himself right back into the clutches of Talsma, the Canadian. He's on an improving run as well. He's already at 4 places. Veltman in there too. Here's Talsma. Veltman ahead of him. It's all over the back of Rowlandson right now. 9th through to 13th, covered by around about 1.5 seconds. There's a little bit of trading places there as Hay gets past Flint up into 9th. Keep saying before, said before and so again, this is not done and dusted because this long back straight. Hay is going to punch a hole in the air for absolutely everyone. And if Flint has got a nice slippery setup, then he will be catapulting his way past, or will he? No, Hay just keeping hold of that 9th place for now. And Hay, so Flint coming under a bit of pressure from Rowlandson. We're going to see him move into turn 1 here. Hay, so Flint might just about hold on to this one. Car 13, unlucky for some. Flint hoping is not unlucky for him. Rowlandson is crawling all over the back and just nearly getting a little bit loose there on the exit out of 2. Down towards 3. Talsma, Scuderia, Dagda coming right into play. All this battling in front of him, helping him out as well. They've come back out of the pits and they are at it again. Ding ding, round 2 between Teles and McIntyre. And they've got Richie Robinson, the South African, in between them. That is Gillen. A few places behind, and oh, there's a car off there. I think was that Felwis? Fuelis, sorry. I think that might have been him off there. So far, retirements, we have lost Brewer, the American, on lap 9. Smith on lap 6. Toa on lap 3. And Lucas, unfortunately, didn't make the starting grid. Only 4 retirements on lap 12, as we're seeing Hay now potentially losing that 9th place he worked so hard to gain, as Flint up the inside and back up to where he feels he will belong in 9th. And the gap to Varani ahead of them It's just growing now, 4.5 seconds, and battling even more like this. It's just going to make that grow even further. 29, there's Brewer coming back out of the pits, back from the depth. Hey, still trying to hunt down, getting as close as they dare to that wall on the outside. Hey, just trying to size up, just trying to weigh up Flint once again. Trying to position him and manufacture a move. I'm going to guess into the final chicane here. Just trying to position Flint. Move him around a little bit. Just play the mind games. Fill his mirrors with that Shizou T1, the Lara F3. Yeah, best laps between the pair of them. Hey, that's a slower lap of himself. Flint in front of him, Rollinson behind him by a considerable margin, you know, against Flint ahead of him. Scuderia Dagda. It's around about 2-3 tenths of a second. Last time around, a big difference, but that was obviously where Flint made the place up against Hay. Now on to lap 13. Out of 30. Passes happening up and down the field as the motor making a bit of progress. Oh, and the cursed commentator strikes the first car into the wall of champions. That's broken rear left suspension, and that is going to be a retirement for the German. Zoltan's the motor. Well, it's a motor that he is driving. No one has one less wheel attached to the car. He's into the pits. See, okay, Valman here. 25 Esports. Drops a little bit off the back of Rollinson, Hay, and Flint ahead of him. And Telsma will be feeling like he is dropping away from that group behind. Needs to get a move done as quick as possible if he wants to try and catch up, because they are battling in front of him. So if he can get past, he will catch up to them relatively quickly even. Temperature's starting to drop down a little bit. Down to 34 degrees, so a slight reduction. It's got cooler as the session has gone on. Through practice to qualifying to race. That's just going to only aid the drivers in terms of the tyre degradation. Salzman up the inside. That's the move done. Dispatching of Veldman into 12. Now what can he do to hunt down the group of 3 in front of him? It's Veldman having a little bit of a look once again in Sem 1, but Talsma says, no, I've got this position. It's mine. I'm in 12. And now I need to get after Flint, Hay, and Rollinson in front of me. 2.4 seconds is what he needs to make up. And, ooh, is there a little bit of a rub with the wall there for Rollinson, potentially? Like a bit of a scrape and a bang. He's got away with it, though. It may even been Hay, because he's looking a little bit slow right now. And he's dropping off the back of Flint, and Rollinson on the attack for Shizou T2. And that is now up into 10th, and I do have to wonder, has Hay got a little bit of damage? Because where he's looking incredibly racy early on, now falling down just that little bit. Nothing obvious on the car. Which, oh no, he's had the place back to his teammate, because Rollinson has got too eager on the power. And around he goes. Pirouettes, heads off again, but he has lost places to Talsman and Velman, and a whole heap of time to Hay. Now, something's happened to Lamy, because he has fallen right down through the order. He was 3rd, and now finds himself in 6th. In amongst Duran and Braun, who've had a right royal ding-dong themselves, or pretty much all race long. The Brits are having the best of times here in Canada. Oh, there we go. He's lost it at the Wall of Champions. All by himself. It's Lamey. Now needs to pick himself up, dust himself down, and go again once more as we head into the second half of the race here. 15 laps out of 30 completed. Herman leads from Marto. Oh, wow, he's been slowly just plucking away, extending that gap. And in fact, on this current lap, best of anyone, sector 1 and 2 for Herman. It's coming around to close out the lap. We're going to see a new fastest lap of the race here from Herman. Well, I think we may well do indeed. Previous best was 1:30.39. What is he going to do? Actually, he goes slightly slow. No, he does. Apologies, took a second to update there. 1:30.31, but it has been deleted as the fastest lap of the race. He must have had an off track somewhere. Even so, his previous best 1:30.39, so only 0.08 of a second difference. That is consistency for you, as Lamey has managed to get his way past Duran. Now, dig deep, Lamey, because you have got to make up 4 seconds to get onto the back of Fessy. It's going to be a tall order. And we've seen from Fessy already so many times across this championship that he knows how to defend. He's incredibly strong on the brakes. What answer has Braun got for Duran? Since Duran made his way past Braun, seems to have been just stuck a little bit behind him as the 2SE Sports driver. He's just biding his time. He would have maybe accepted that Lamey was a bit quicker than them, so he qualified higher up the rankings and started in 5th, did Lamey, and Braun. He's 7th, so that Braun started in 7th, so it was no slouch himself as McIntyre coming into yet again more pressure. You'll be glad to get this one done and dusted. He's down 12 places, and the car behind him, Kona, is up 12 places. So either way, we're going to see a bit of a change here. Effectively, both head on to 13 if they swap places. McIntyre will be down 13, and Kona will be up 13. But McIntyre has got the slipstream down the back straight. That's going to help him to defend, but still heads to the inside. That's one of the back markers. That was, I didn't quite catch who that was actually. That is going to help him. Oh no, as McIntyre's lost it mid-corner, he rejoins the track. He's going to get a slowdown. And that's, well, going to cost him badly. And it goes from bad to worse to catastrophic for poor McIntyre. Down to 16th now. That's a man in need of a hug if there ever was one. As we're at half race distance, Herman leads from Marto. Now 1.8 seconds that advantage the Brit has over the Dutchman. Murrock rounding out your podium in 3rd. But he is some 7 seconds down the road from our top 2. Got a healthy advantage though, a couple of seconds over Fessy. That's probably 1.3 seconds even. And Murrock hoping for a podium in his home race. Fessy 4th, Lamey covering now up to 5th, but cuts out to try and catch up to Fessy. Duran just sitting on the coattails of Lamey, to be fair. Braun coming along for the ride too, 6th and 7th for those two. Varani 8th. Lint and Hay rounding out your top 10. There's Tasma, Velman, Dennis, Kona, Teles, McIntyre, the unlucky McIntyre. Moonza 17th, Rowlinson 18th, and then the Richie Robinsons. And from South Africa, rounding out your top 20. Barris, that's been earlier costing dearly, 21st. And even more places, already up 11. And we've got, what's that move on here from Teles. It's going to be this way past. So McIntyre feeling resurgent, driving with a bit of anger in his veins. As he makes his way past Kona, reclaiming that place. Back up into 15th, setting his sights firmly in the reaches of Teles, the Spaniard in front of him with Drive X Esports. Lamey now. At least, if he can close up onto Fessy, he's going to have his work cut out. It's still stagnated around that 4.2 seconds mark. But if he can catch up Looks like Duran and Braun are fully going to come along for the fight, so that could get interesting into the closing laps if they can close up. You get the feeling there's going to be a bit of infighting amongst those three. Bit of squabbling. And Duran looking racy as they head through the final chicane. Duran getting very close, almost skimming the wall of champions there. Moves to the inside, trying to move around, distract Lamy, trying to get him to miss a braking marker, miss a turn-in point. Anything he can do to find his way past, and wow, Lamy practically drifting there. You can see him soaring at the wheel as he tried to keep the foot in the power. Oh, and was that a grace with the wall there? He is in trouble because Duran is all over him like a rash right now. Of course, he spun earlier on. Oh, Lamy, how did he hold on to that one? Has he got damage, and that suspension damage, and that is what's causing him? Take a look through here, or is it just tyre temperatures getting away from him? But here comes Braun to pick up the pieces from the pair of these two. Lamy has a little look up on the inside, thinks about twice about it. Duran holding on for now. Surely Lamy needs to just manage these tyre temperatures. They are going to be reaching fever pitch in terms of heat. Bring them back towards him and then go again for another attack. I think trying to catch up with Fessy, that is long gone now. We got now 5.4 seconds, ground by 1.2. We're on lap 20 out of 30. 2/3 race distance complete. From the circuit to Gilles Villeneuve, Montreal, Canada, in the iGPFUN F3 League. And now we see Lamy. It's his turn to put the pressure onto Duran. Can he get the move done? He's done it once before. That's going to give him the incentive to know that he can do it yet again. And so close. If we had a cigarette paper, I doubt we could even squeeze it in between the pair of these two. You can tell Duran knows he's under pressure, going defensive early on. Half a second covering these three as Lamy gets up close and personal with the gearbox of Duran. Once again pulls out from the slipstream, looking for a move into the hairpin, up the inside, squeezes out wide. Pair of them trying to be the last of the late breakers, and it ended in tears. Duran loses the place to Braun. Has that contact that Lamy had with Duran, giving him any side pod damage, any aero damage that Braun can capitalise on. The German knows that Lamy will feel a bit vulnerable, and he needs to get this move done early if he wants to get past Lamy, because if he builds his momentum, builds his confidence once again, gets his head back in the game, he will keep hold of that position. But Braun goes up the inside. Lamy fights back into turn 2. Said earlier that outside line, into turn 1 can pay dividends if you keep the car alongside, and Lamy showcasing that exactly how it is done. But Braun is in full attack mode right now, and Lamy is defending for his life as Braun slips it up the inside. Lamy's just trying to keep his nose in there, can't quite do it, and here comes Duran. He's on the attack, wanting a place back from Lamy. And in as many corners, Lamy loses 2 places, and those tyres have got to be on absolute fire for Lamy right now. We've ruined that earlier mistake. As now, well, you could see a bit of contact here as Braun squeezed outside, wasn't looking in his mirrors to what Duran was doing. But they've got a really bad exit off the corner. But also, look who's just creeping up behind them. It's Ferrari. We're going to have a free wide. Of course we are, between these three. They've been scrapping so hard down the back straight. And now it's Braun's turn to lose 2 places. as Durant and Lamy head through, and they all emerge as they were only 2 laps ago. Spectacular stuff. And see a look across the chat on YouTube. McIntyre, his PC has died. Well, I feel for you, because it has been well, one to forget, hasn't it? It's literally, as I said earlier, if you didn't have any bad luck, then you wouldn't have had any luck here at all today at all. As we see Lamy trying to desperately get his way past Durant. And let's not forget, when they were in this position before, what happened? Down at the hairpin, they made contact. Roll reverse this time. It's Durant on the inside, Lamy on the outside of him. Looking for the cutback, but clever stuff from Durant. They're just slowing it up on the exit, trying to kill off any momentum from Lamy. But what can Brawn do? Ferrari has taken 4/10 of a second out of this free on the last lap alone. He's coming along for the ride and wants to get involved in this fight. Durant is going to hold on to that place for now. The fierce contest all over. 5th place. There we go, Ferrari. Well, he's got Flint under a second behind him. So this is getting real. Oh, a bit of bumping and bang. Oh no, it's all ended in disaster for the pair of them. And here comes Ferrari, splitting the pair of them, heading through the inside. Well, they were all trying to have a bit of a mother's meeting on the exit of turn 2 as who was going to go first. The Swiss driver said, thank you very much. I'll just take that off you. If you can't decide who wants that place, I'll have it from you. Brawn also capitalising from it. He's up into 5th as well. Durant and Lamy, these two will not leave each other alone. Flint isn't far behind too. A 5-way battle for 5th place. These need to be absolutely on the nail. They want to get this move done. The frustration starting to creep in as Ferrari has made his way past Brawn. He's now up into 5th. We said about maybe about them catching up to Fessy. Well, that gap was 4.2 seconds when we mentioned that first one. It's now 9.7 seconds. Could have had the pace to do it, but wow. Just lost 2 places there. It's almost like he picked up a bit. Oh, he's heading into the pits. I'm not sure why Brawn is. Of all the drivers, he didn't have any damage, it appears, but everyone else has kept going. On his exit stage left, it's a German. What was a 5-way battle for Vic? It's now down to a 4-way battle. Rani, Durant, Lamy and Flint in that order. And who is going to come out on top? Oh, your guess is as good as mine. This is going to go absolutely anyway. You probably got confusing earlier with the rain in Monaco and the Formula 1. Wow. It's more confusing in some ways because they are constantly trading places. Something you certainly don't see around the streets of Monaco in any Formula. Hermet leading with 6 laps remaining. Marteau now dropping 3.2 seconds behind him. Brooke looking comfortable for that 3rd in his home race. Fessy cementing that 4th. Then we've got this battle we've been watching for pretty much most of the race. Now Ferrari, Durant, Lamy and Flint. Then we have got Hay, Telsma running at the top then Valman. Brawn has come back out again into 12th. A bit of pocket space by himself. Tellez, Dennis, Kona, Munzer, Barris. 2 Richie Robinsons. And Solito running at your top 20 with Fessman. Ridgway, Zamota, Brewer. Both the Brewers and Clark being last of your running cars. On lap 25. With retirements for McIntyre, who we lost on lap 18. Also, we lost Rhodes on the same lap. Carty, I didn't mention him. The Jamaican, he retired on lap 14. Ulis, we lost on lap 10. Barone on lap 9, Smith on lap 6, Itoa on lap 3, and Lucas didn't make the grid, so making up some 8 retirements here. And Lamy looking very oversteery with his setup, and Varani has been able to pull clear of these guys. Now 1.3 seconds, the advantage that he has over them. And looking at his lap times, he's run about half a second quicker than these two. You can hardly be surprised the way that they have been battling. They have been in the trenches. This has been all-out warfare practically between these two for so long. Flint just can't quite seem to find that edge that the American needs for Scuderia Dagda to bring himself up into the fight. Having said that, he's up 2 places, so he still had a cracking result. Not as good as Barris in 17th, up 15 places. Spectacular stuff. Kona up 14 into 14th. And Noel Richie Robinson up 12. An incredible 12 into 19th. They are your biggest position, top 3 position gainers. New iGPFUN F3 from Montreal. Total sim sport. Just Lamy, just consolidate, play it safe, and then launch a last lap attack. Some might argue that might be the sensible thing to do, but from what we've seen so far between Duran and Lamy, that's not going to happen. Not in a million years. But the gap is starting to open up between the pair of them. That's 6/10 of a second. An even spread, and also 6/10 of a second to Flint as well, although having said that, Lamy just closing right up on the brakes, taking a couple of attempts out of Duran. Flint is trying as he might, just can't seem to find that slight edge to close right up onto the back of them. We've seen Barris here going for yet another position, not content with 15 places. Now wants to take this place from Dennis. Oh no, just losing the rear end. Was that almost even a bit of netcode? Getting the car restarted. And I think he's going to hold on to that one, but that might be things done and dusted for him with 3 laps left remaining. Might have to settle for just the 15 places gained in 17th. Well, we'd say ding ding, round 2. We're way beyond that. Welcome. The 12th round with these two. An absolute slugfest of a drive between the pair of them. Trading places. Oh, Lamy, how did you hold on to that one? It was nearly at 90 degrees on the exit of turn 4 and still kept it right onto the tail of Duran in spectacular fashion there. I take my hat off to you, sir, because that was an epic piece of car control. I'm sure you'll know yourself how you quite managed to do that one, but that was spectacular, and now you're all in full attack mode. Duran to look into this mirrors. Lamy has a bit of a jinx to the right, thinks twice about it, tucks back in again, and now Flint has got down to 6/10. Be dragged along by these two down the casino straight. Flint is out of draft range to Varani. He goes defensive to the inside early on, covering off the entrance into the final chicane, but Lamy's going to get a much better exit. Has to just snap out of it a little bit. Otherwise, he's going to run straight into the back of Duran. They've already had enough contact to last a million years, these two, already. Last thing they need is more. But now, look what that's meant. Flint is now right onto the tail of Lamy as he pulls out. Swarming all over the gearbox, moving left, moving right as his efforts to find his way past Duran, feeling like he's being held up. As the late great Murray Walker said, catching someone is one thing and making the pass on them is something different altogether. As Duran, Lamy desperate to try and find the switchback, just getting squirrely on the exit once again and again. That car is twitching more than a rabbit's nose right now, and in the process, Flint finally finds a way past Lamy, and Duran will be breathing a massive sigh of relief inside the cockpit of his Solara F3, because he doesn't have to look in the mirrors being filled by that year one liveried car of Jerome Lamy. But what can Flint do? Can Lamy snatch the place back? We're on to lap 29. We got 2 laps left here to go in Canada. And still everything to play for. Ronnie's checked out ahead of these two now, 2.3 seconds ahead. So we've got 2 laps left to go. Herman leads from Marto Morik. Still that last place on the podium. Fessy 20 seconds behind. Ronnie 5th. Duran for now 6th. Flint for now 7th. Lamy for now 8th. Hay 4 seconds down the road in 9th. Talsberg running out your top 10. There's Velman, Tellus, Braun, Conan, Munzer, Dennis, Barris. See Richie Robinsons and Toledo still running out your top 20. Place your bets now, folks. More chance of rolling a dice and coming up with the answer to who's going to finish on top between these 3. Time is running out. Overtaking opportunities are running out as well. As there is Hermer. The white flag flies here in Canada. 1 lap left to go to bring it home for the Brits. Sam Hermer in first for PDR. Back to this battle. You just can't keep your eyes off it. As Lamy once again, that car is so loose at the rear. Yet somehow he's able to control it. I do not know how he is managing to do that. The Team Year 1 car. And Flint will be, well, he would have breathed a big sigh of relief himself to see Lamy getting squirrely on the exit, but we know he can keep his foot in there and still maintain that gap and not lose any time, and he's done it once again. He's got a great run out of the Wall of Champions and he's going to pull alongside on the inside to turn 1. Flint's going to hold it on right around the outside. Going to give him the inside for 2. And if he keeps his car there, he'll have the inside for 3. But Lamy trying to fight back. He squeezes up the inside on the run down to turn 3. And is Lamy going to take it? Or is Flint going to hold on in there? Well, there's contact with the wall once again from Lamy. How many times has he rubbed that wall? And Flint has to back out of it. Thinks twice and tucks back in behind Lamy. But they have now dropped 2 seconds to Duran. There's Hermer just consolidating this now and coming across the finish line. He's going to take the victory here in Canada by 4 seconds over Marto, who picks up 2nd place on the podium. Maybe for the first time this evening you can say this victory, looking at this position, looking like it's done and dusted. Was that a car off on the inside I just spotted there? Yes, it was. At 31, that's Brewer. That is one of the Brewers just parking it on the inside there at Leping. Bingo. Just all giving up. They're all happy with their positions. That's them done and dusted. Wow, what a race. Murray claims the last place on the podium at his home race of the season. Wow. I feel worn out just commentating on that one. I dread to think how the drivers feel after that. The donuts commencing. Just north, the country north of the land of the donut being the US of A. There is your race victor, Sam Hermer. Followed Marto for a few laps, and then once he got ahead, he had to defend, lost the place to Marto, he reclaimed that lead. But then the 2nd attempt, got his way past, and that was it. The Brit checked out, extended his gap, pulled away, and that was him, done and dusted. Here are your classified race results here in iGPFUN F3. Herma taking the victory from Marte. Mulrook running out your podium. Gonna be happy with that one. Home race. Fessy in 4th. Barani 5th. Taking advantage from all the battling that's happening in front of him. Great result from him in the end. Duran gets that 6th place. Lamy might say I have to settle for 7th, but what an intriguing battle he was having all race long. Flint in 8th. Hay 9th. Talsma rounding out your top 10 with Velma, Tellez, Braun, Kona, Munzer, Reed Dennis, Victor Barris in 17th. Then Killen, Richie Robinson, Noel Richie Robinson, both a lap down. First drivers not finishing on the lead lap in 18th, 19th with Toledo rounding out your top 20. Then it was Ridgeway, Zamota, Leicester drivers 1 lap down. Then Matthew Brewer and Jeffrey Brewer 2 laps down apiece in 23rd and 24th. James Clark 3 laps down. Then we're into the retirements in 26th. Was Vestman, he kept going. He was only a couple laps down in the end. Then McIntyre, PC failure, costing him dearly in a race to forget, surely. Well, you've got to really feel for him. He finishes in 27th, retired on lap 18, likewise did Rowlinson as well, 28th. We lost Carty on lap 29, Foulis on lap 10, who rounds out your top 30. Marone, we lost him on lap 9, Smith on lap 6, Atoa retired on lap 3, and Lucas, unfortunately, did not make the start. Wow. What a race. Yeah, again, this championship not failing to deliver whatsoever on action, drama, and excitement, right from the green flag all the way up to the checkered. And wow, it was an absolute honour to sit in for Austin and Seb. Absolute pleasure. Treated to a real spectacle here from Montreal, Canada. Congratulations to Sam Herma on the victory. And congratulations to Victor Barish, making up the most places today in 17th, up an incredible 15 places. Spectacular step from the Spaniard. For everyone here at Total Sin Sport, from myself, Tim Cox, and Sean Cranleigh-Swash. See you in a week's time when Seb and Austin will be back here for iGPFUN.